Good afternoon, everybody. This is Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord, and it's Fantastic Friday. And even though you don't know the difference, we're a little bit later than usual. Mike and I were able to move some things around in our schedule to still make sure that this happened because we believe it's that important. And we had three scorching hot topics to talk to you about today. Mike, how's it going?
It's going well, man. I'm glad we get to do this every week. So thanks for being a little flexible with me today.
Oh, absolutely. Happy to do it. I needed some flex too, so we're all good. So first and foremost, the big hot topic I want to talk about today is, as everyone knows, Mike and I only talk about things that we have experience in. And thankfully, / not thankfully, we just had an experience with this. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about in segment 1 specifically is disclosures. Mm-hmm. Have you ever bought a property, Mr. Zuber, that you closed on, got to the other side, and then realized we have a big problem on our hands? How do we then handle it? And it wasn't, or was maybe disclosed, but you'd missed it. Like, what was that process for you if you ever uncovered anything like that on the other side of closing?
Yeah, it's happened to me so frequently that I now just assume that all sellers are liars. It really is that bad, right? The disclosure paperwork, especially if you're buying a building, it's a little better if it's a house, but not much. It's just less of it.
Yep.
When I bought apartment buildings, sellers are liars, and yeah, every deal I've done, there's always been surprises on the other side that I personally would have disclosed that the seller didn't. Sometimes it's an annoyance, really. Sometimes it is thousands of dollars. And on one or two occasions, I have walked into, frankly, city issues, yes, which are disclosures that should have happened. And, now there's suddenly my problem. And in fairness, I don't know that I wouldn't have closed the deals on any of them, but I sure would have A, wanted to know about them, B, wanted to maybe remediate, and maybe on a couple of them got a slightly lower price. But again, sellers are liars. I now expect to be surprised every freaking time because you all don't take the paperwork seriously. You don't say what's really going on. It's a problem. So that's I've given up trusting people, frankly.
It was a good Thanksgiving. We're thankful that we're not constantly having to deal with sellers.
Yeah.
So So I think, so the reason I wanted to talk about this one specifically today was because I encountered that on the 12-unit building that I just closed on. So not cheap, $1.31 million.
Yeah.
And I get a call from the city on Monday. Okay. The city calls me. I'm like, this is interesting. And they're like, yeah, Mr. Lumberjack Landlord, we need to talk to you. I was like, sure, what's up?
Yeah.
They said, do you realize that you have a leak coming out of your building that's leaking onto a main road?
Oh, hello.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't, because if I did, I'd have people there fixing it. I don't like paying for water leaking.
Yeah, water's expensive. My area too. Yeah. I will fix a leak immediately.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Exactly.
It doesn't stop.
No. Amazing. So he calls me and he says, yes, you have this problem. This is the chief code enforcement officer for the city.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not even one of the underlings, one of the guy.
Yeah, you are. And you're on his radar. That's not good.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, hi. He goes,
how are you?
I've never called you with one of these before. I said, that's always the goal. That's always the goal. So he says, yeah, you got this leak. I said, okay. He said, actually, Department of Public Works was just in my office and it's leaking onto a double yellow line road. I'm like, okay. I was like, I'll get somebody there immediately. Call my plumber. And I was like, hey, you know how I never, ever say you got to get there right away? This isn't that phone call. I need you to get there like right away. Yeah. He's like, all right, sounds good. So he runs over there, checks it. The water is 100 feet off the front of the house. It is bubbling up from the ground. But Mike, here's the problem. The water was warm.
Oh, shit.
It's 36 degrees here. That water should not be warm at all.
Yeah, why is it warm?
So my plumber gets there, starts looking at everything and starts turning things off, shutting things down, seeing if it stops, blah, blah, blah. I'll spare you all the detail, all the troubleshooting that we end up doing. An hour and a half later, he comes back with, there is a line in the slab that clearly has been breached, and it is water is going into your on-demand hot water system, hooked up to natural gas, and it's heating up every ounce of water that's getting then pushed out of that break in the line.
Oh my
100
God.
feet. Yes.
Well, the good news is once you fix that, you're going to save a lot of money on operational costs. That's not cheap. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. So he says to me, he's like, yeah, we looked at this, that, and the other. He's like, we can bypass the line and not have to run them. So for this fix, if anybody ever has this happen, the key is doing a bypass line instead of
don't
going
break the
back.
slab.
Yeah, don't break the slab. Don't start jackhammering stuff. Do a bypass line. They were able to find the other line. They basically did a bypass line around. They were able to keep that all above.
They shut this one off. They cap it.
Exactly. Shut it off, cap it, bypass line right to the stack. And then that does basically, there's 12 units in that building. That was doing 3 units, right?
Okay.
So we're good. That piece is taken care of. I call the city and I say, hey, great news. I've got it fixed. He's like, are you joking? I said, no. He goes, really? I said, yeah, it's done. It's fixed. He's like, that's fantastic. I said, happy to do it. All I ever need to know is that there's a problem, officer.
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir. And I hope you never call me again.
Exactly. It was great speaking with you. Hopefully we never speak again. But here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is that I said to him, I said, was there any signs how long this has been going on? Did Department of Public Works have any indication that any of this was an issue? He said, are you serious? I said, yeah. He said, we've notified the previous landlord twice in the last 90 days that this was an issue.
Wow, this guy's been a slumlord this whole time. So,
unbelievable. Like,
yes, it's going to be interesting because again, he could claim ignorance. He could say it went to somebody else. He didn't see it. Yeah, and then so you fixed it in less than a day.
Yep.
Probably less than half a day.
Yeah, it was 3 hours. 2 guys, 3 hours. 2 plumbers, 3 hours.
And how much of a line did you have to run? Like how many feet?
Maybe 30 feet.
Did you have to you have to trench?
So it was an interior bypass we were able to do.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what, 3-4 grand?
Yeah, I think all in we might be probably, only a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
The bigger issue was I don't know about the water and the gas bill because
it's going to go down now
massively. But think about the fact that hot water at a open tap pace has been leaking out of my building since I've owned it for 32 days, 37 days.
Yeah, but you should have seen his past. Did you not see his past energy and water bills?
So I saw it over the course of, I didn't see the month statement.
So you saw accumulation.
Statement.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't, okay. All right.
So it was like, so when I did the numbers based on number of units and kind of comparing it to my other stuff and doing comparables.
So you're going to be surprised the first month.
Yeah. I was like, all right, it's a little high. Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's like, I mean, where we come from, I think they call a unit of water is like 770 gallons.
Okay.
And I think that, and based on the number of units, and I think that's like $18 or something like that, how they figure it all out. So I'm kind of bracing myself for a, $6,000 water bill.
I've had not quite that big, but on a 10 unit building, I had a $4,500 water bill, and the bills used to be, it was 10x what it should have been because of a leak like that.
And what was it? Was a leak in the slab or something like that?
Yeah, it was a slab. Yeah, we did a bypass as well, so we didn't break the slab, but we did have to trench like 10 feet or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't horrible, but
it's not horrible.
But no, it happens. Water
again, scares
people always. Yeah, water scares. Water is far more scary. Fire is like, okay, there it is, right? Yep. Then you have some smoke damage, but water is just pervasive, man.
Yes. Water is scary stuff because you have no idea what it's done. Like now I have to go in there and I have to do some sonar stuff to see if underneath the slab
it's been washed away.
Exactly. Like you got to be kidding. So we've only just begun on this, but the thing I think it's important for everyone to recognize is there was literally nothing I could do to figure out that this was an issue because I couldn't get access to the records
Mhm.
of this building because I didn't own it previously.
Yeah.
The landlord previously did not disclose any of this stuff on the closing statements. And
Yeah.
we did a full inspection. And the crazy thing is that how could we know? Because I mean, the property is a couple acres, but it was 100 feet down the hill, all the way down to the left, like not even something that anyone's really even thinking about. But
Yeah.
so it couldn't be found. So I certainly would never go after the inspection company because it wasn't their fault.
Mm-mm.
It truly was not reporting. It was fraud.
Yeah.
Knowing
So
that there was an issue and not reporting it.
The question now is, do you spend a couple of $1,000s going after the guy, or you just move on?
I think it's a conversation. That's all. I think
Yeah.
I think
This guy's a slumlord. I expect him to use every excuse in the book. I wouldn't even waste any time with him, but I know you're gonna talk to him, but
at least a conversation. Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother.
Probably in person.
Slumlords are probably in person. Yeah. Come here.
Come here.
Come here.
I got a question for you.
Yeah. What the
You
hell?
saw this paper from the city. What did you do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen this before? Do you see the date?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's important because I think a lot of people going into this, they want to believe everything that the seller said, right?
Sellers are liars. Just give it
Yeah.
up. Sellers are liars.
Exactly. Guys, A, sellers are liars. B, when you eventually sell a property, don't do the wrong thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Full
because
disclosures, man. I give month by month. I give my property manager does disclosures.
everything. Like the stuff that we've sold, we show everything that we have.
Oh, of course.
And we'll even tell them, hey, we bought this, like especially on a burr, we'll or even one that we're just flipping, we'll actually show them all the costs and say, just keep in mind, we were heating this place when it had no insulation,
Right.
when we were redoing it. So that should be high,
Yeah.
but that sort of stuff. So always, always, always the best policy, making sure you're talking to folks.
Just
and
be
when
a
you're
good
selling,
person.
Just be good. Just do the right
Yeah.
thing.
And then lastly, the lesson is if you get a feeling that the seller's a slumlord, assume you'll have surprises.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely had a bigger contingency fund going into this deal than I ever have on any deal that I've ever done before, percentage wise,
Smart.
not just gross numbers, just percentage wise, because I started to get it and I was like, that's not right. That doesn't, no, there's more
It
here.
doesn't feel good. Yeah.
Yep. So Mike, where can everybody find you, my friend?
One rental at a time. YouTube, books,
Books.
Instagram, website, all that.
And the course is going up in 5 weeks.
Yeah. It's
Buy
go
it
up.
now.
Buy it now. Join the Facebook group. Mentoring option. People keep asking for my time. That's going to go up a lot.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a 30-minute one-on-one conversation, buy it now.
Mike, what's the discount code? Do you still have that?
Yeah, sure. For your team. Yeah. June 50. Save $50.
Guys, now's the time. Now's the time. You will not get any gift under the tree or in your email inbox that will be as valuable as what this is going to return for you.
Mhm.
So as I always say, we always try to create great content for you. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. We like to make sure that this gets in front of as many people trying to start their journey as possible. And the new Facebook group, the Three Amigos, we are there. Mike has his live stream. Are you doing a live stream tomorrow?
Yeah, of course.
Live stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time on Run Rental at a Time on YouTube. And then 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sundays, we're doing a typically 3-hour real estate palooza. Your questions, my answers. Mike, thanks so much. Look forward to session number 2.
You got it.